Should Nikola Jovic be the Miami Heat's backup point guard next season? And can Jovic have a breakout season next year? We'll find out on today's episode. Welcome back to the Team to Beat Miami Heat podcast, your one-stop shop for daily Miami Heat content. We're pushing to 2,000 subscribers, so if you guys do enjoy my content, it would mean a lot to me if you guys could subscribe to the channel, so thank you so much. So it's time to pod, y'all. So for today's episode, I want to talk about something the Miami Heat can potentially do to unlock Niko Jovic. And that is allow Nico to come off the bench as the Miami Heat's backup point guard. So, Nikola Jovic, he's going to be going into his third season with the Miami Heat. He's a young, talented forward who hasn't had a ton of experience yet in his 2 seasons, but the Serbian forward has shown flashes of brilliance since joining the Miami Heat. He is tall, obviously. We know he's 6'10". He has a versatile skill set which needs to be unleashed and unlocked. And he's not your typical forward. We wanted to play him essentially as our backup five. And he eventually, or our backup four. And, he eventually last season started a bunch of games. He played 46 games total. I don't know the exact number at the top of my head, how many games he started, but he started most of those games that he did play. And I think 40 games or so. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. I know you guys will. But either way, Nico, he isn't like just that like spread the floor power forward that we wanted to play next to Bam Adebayo. That was his role. Like he essentially was spreading the floor, standing in the corners, and catching and shooting 3-pointers as Jimmy and Bam were operating in the paint. As Tyler Hero had the ball in his hands, Terry Rozier for the limited time that they played together. So he didn't operate within like the skill set that he actually can portray or have. So he's super versatile. Like I said, when playing with Serbia, he's a pro. Like he didn't play in college, he played overseas, and he played as a point forward. Like he played like a Lamar Odom style type of basketball, as someone who's 6'10", someone who can handle the ball, put the ball on the floor, has really good court vision, has good playmaking abilities, who can hit the three, whose defense improved drastically last season. And I think those abilities make him a good candidate for a backup point guard because we have no point guard even on the roster. Terry Rozier is not a point guard. Tyler Hero is not a point guard. Josh Richardson is not a point guard. Alec Burks is not a point guard. So we don't even have a real point guard on this team. And it's going to be most likely Hero and Rozier starting in the backcourt to start the year, I assume. And I don't know if Tyler can come off the bench. That'd be great. But, or even if Terry comes off the bench, that might make more sense. But right now, the way Jovic is operating within his role, he does have the ability to, he gets defensive rebounds, of course. That's what he's in there for. We needed more size. So putting him next to Bam Adebayo has been great for size, and his defense has been improving a lot. He's getting less fouls. He's playing less with his hands and holding folks. He's moving his feet better. But the only times we see glimpses of Jovic when he's in the starting lineup is when he's playing in transition off the break, when he gets a rebound, and he's one of our best transition players. The Miami Heat were one of the worst teams, one of the worst transition teams and full court fast break teams until Nico got his opportunity to, play that transition basketball with Bam Adebayo. Otherwise, when it's a half court offensive set, he's just going to be standing in the corner because Jimmy Butler's going to need the ball in his hands. Bam's going to need the ball in his hands. Terry and Tyler are going to need the ball in their hands. So I think we sacrifice Nico as a starter, which means we sacrifice size because I don't think Kel'el Ware is ready to start yet. But if he does improve drastically and fast, I see a point where Kel'el can and should start next to Bam Adebayo because Bam has talked about it, especially during the summer in the Olympics, how he wants to play four. Because right now Bam is playing next to Anthony Davis, and he's been playing great. And Bam Adebayo has been, shooting more threes. Last season, he shot a couple threes per game, shot like 33, 34% from three, which is good on low numbers, but he's only going to get better and more confident in that shot. And so he wants to play at the four. If Bam's going to play at the four, then Kalel needs to be able to start. But in the meantime, Bam is going to start off at the five at the beginning of the year as our center. And it's going to be either Nico starting at the four, or it could be Haywood Highsmith. So, which puts them back at that small ball, which a lot of Miami Heat fans hate because we're one of the worst defensive rebounding teams in the NBA last season. We were 26th. And so if we put Haywood in, that limits our ability to rebound. He's 6'5", but he does have a big wingspan. So that can help. But the idea of putting Haywood in as the starting four next to Bam is that he can help if Tyler and Terry are the starting backcourt. He can help them with point of attack defense, or if they get hunted, he can help them defensively. So I'm assuming, the starting backcourt is going to be Tyler and Terry, and then you have Jimmy and Bam. And then again, who's going to be that four? Is it Jovic or is it Haywood? And in my opinion, I think Jovic did well starting next to Jimmy and Bam. But I think we can unlock him by being that point forward off the bench. So I think you put Haywood Highsmith in there, you do the small ball thing, and you let Haywood be the spot up shooter and the defender. He's going to guard the best offensive player night in, night out. He's going to help with that with Jimmy Butler as well. He's going to help at the point of attack, which is good. And then Jovic comes in as our starting point forward off the bench, who's going to be our facilitator, who's going to be our playmaker. He's going to run the sets for the team. He's going to, rebound and still probably guard a small forward, power forward on defense. And he could start that transition. He could start the fast break. And I think that would be huge for him, where he can operate with the ball in his hands versus having to give it to Jimmy, having to give it to one of the guards, Terry or Tyler or Bam, and play off ball. He's a better on ball player. And so imagine him coming off the bench with, I don't know who's going to start at the two guard. Is Duncan Robinson back? So okay, or is he still hurt? So I don't know, but it could be him, Duncan at the two, and then we got Jaime at the three. Then you got Kevin Love perhaps at the four, and then you got Kalel Ware at the five. That could be an interesting unit. Kalel could hit the three, protect the rim. Then you got Kevin Love, who could rebound and hit threes. You got Jaime, who's going to improve his 3-point shot, hopefully, and be our, Swiss Army knife, like hopefully 3-level scorer next season. We got Duncan Robinson, who can help play make a little bit and shoot the three. And then you got Jovic, who could hit the three, who could ball handle. And with his size off the bench as a point guard, he could be a mismatch nightmare. He showed last season he has the ability to handle the ball under pressure and create opportunities for his teammates. His basketball IQ seems to be impressive. His vision seems to be impressive for a player of his age. He was 20 years old last season, just turned 21. So I think Jovic running the second unit could help exploit mismatches, keep the offense fluid. He can help activate Jaime Jaquez and perhaps Kalel Ware, who's going to be a good rookie again. So Jovic's passing ability is, again, one of his standout skills. He can make pinpoint passes from time to time, and he has the creativity to find open teammates in tough spots. This is what he can do, and he can help find shooters like Duncan Robinson even. And Duncan's been getting better at cutting. So Duncan, obviously off ball, amazing footwork and movement to find his ability to get open. So Jovic can help find Duncan, especially because he's really active. We see how much he runs around in circles to get open. We know Jaime Jaquez, one of the best weak side cutters, and just has so much passion and energy. So I think the offense would be really good. So let's talk about why I think Jovic is poised to have a breakout year, regardless if he's the backup point guard or if he's the starting power forward. So I think he's poised for a breakout season. Pat Riley and Mickey Arison and just Spo have a lot of faith in him and have said they don't really want to trade him, as he's been rumored to be a part of packages with Tyler Hero or even Jaime Jaquez. But I think because the Miami Heat have one of the best development programs in the league, and under the guidance of Eric Spoelstra, the best coach in the league and one of the best coaching staffs with Coach Quinn, and we got Malik Allen and Karan Butler, Jovic has a lot of good people around him so he can hone his skills. He just needs more playing time. Last season, only played 20 minutes, 19 minutes per game. He averaged 7.7 points, 2 assists, 4.2 rebounds, which is good. Half a block or zero point 0.3 blocks, excuse me, half a steal. Shot 40% from three on 3.5 attempts, 45% from the field. Not bad at all. Not too shabby for a guy who only played 15 games his rookie year and only 46 last season. That's literally like 67, 70 games total. He hasn't even played a full 82 game season in total in 2 seasons. So he has a lot of room for growth. And so I think he's going to thrive in the Miami Heat system. He just needs more time and opportunity. Another reason for Jovic's potential breakout next season is the opportunity for increased playing time. Again, Spo trusts him now. He's getting better at defense. And if he could be the backup point guard, he'll have the chance to run the offense and showcase his full range of skills versus just being that like 3 and D type four that they want him. They want him to play defense, get rebounds, and stand in the corner so Jimmy Butler can operate in the mid range, in the paint. Same with Bam and Adebayo, but Bam is also spreading the floor. So, um, yeah, I think Nico does have the potential to be a point forward. I think that'll be awesome. Lamar Odom, who was here just for a season or so when Dwayne Wade was a rookie, and before he got traded ultimately for Shaquille O'Neal to the Los Angeles Lakers. We saw how fun that was having a guy who's 6'10" who could handle the ball, who could score, who could be a 3 level scorer, and that's something Jovic could potentially do. And we all know Jovic right now is playing in the Olympics. He is on Serbia. He got to play against Team USA. Didn't play a ton of minutes, but he's still young. He's one of the youngest guys on the team. He's 21 years old, just turned 21. So I'm really excited about the prospects of Jovic just in general next year, regardless if he plays backup point guard or not. He will get more minutes per game, I'm assuming. And we are trying to build our young players and give them more opportunities and experience. And so we're doing that blended build where we have Jimmy Bam and some veterans like Terry Rozier, but then we're focusing on this youth movement too as well. And we need to play these guys so they get more experience so they can grow and develop. But let me know what you guys think. Do you think Jovic would make sense as our backup point guard, or would you rather have him start at the 4 next to Bam Adebayo? Again, it all depends on Khalil Ware. Is he going to be ready to play next to Bam Adebayo? Is Bam truly going to have the opportunity to play at the 4, which I hope he does? Then that would make sense to have Jovic come off the bench and play as the backup point guard. But let me know your thoughts. Would it make sense for him to be the backup point guard? And do you think Jovic has a chance to have a breakout season next year? Thank you guys for watching again. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel.